Don't move. Who are you? What are you... Wait a moment. Tell me, stranger, what's your name?
Why do you want to know?
You look familiar, but I may be wrong. So one more time, what's your name?
Name's Jax.
Then I wasn't mistaken. Amazing! I heard you were dead. Is it true you defeated the hybrid with your bare hands?
First, tell me who you are.
My name is Radek. Azok will want to know you're here.
Who's that?
I'm sure he'll tell you himself. A lot has changed since the depot was set up. Come on, I'll show you around.
Let's do what he says. Better to get moving than to freeze our asses off.
Well, the tour can't hurt.
Come on, let's go. Follow me. Are you planning on staying?
We'll see. Why?
You see, the thing is, you're not exactly popular here. Many among us want you dead for what you did to the hybrid. Speaking of dead, we're in luck. There's an execution today. We really don't want to miss that.
The verdict has been passed. Unlawful efficiency has been proven beyond reasonable doubt. The defendant has accepted the judgment. Execute the convicted party. Good work. You know the drill. Take up your posts as soon as you're done.
I was wondering how long they were going to let him get away with his behavior. Next, we'll head on over to our research facility.
What? So that's it? He was just killed?
His inefficiency sealed his fate.
What were his crimes?
Anyone who violates the directive is executed. Simple as that. That seems to shock you? You must remember the directive and what it says.
I do. I guess not as much has changed as I thought it had.
Is that pity in your voice? Interesting. I've heard you've let your emotions run wild. Let's walk and talk about it. Don't think that we have no emotions. We were forced to accept that being emotionless didn't help our evolutionary development. It blinded us. It made it possible for someone like you to almost bring us down. That's why everyone is given only as much Elex as they need to do their job as effectively as possible. Don't think that we have no emotions. We were forced to accept that being emotionless didn't help our evolutionary development. It blinded us. It made it possible for someone like you to almost bring us down. That's why everyone is given only as much Elex as they need to do their job as effectively as possible. Right now, we're standing in front of the Computing and Research Center. This is where the optimal level of Elex consumption is calculated, among other things.
What is the optimal amount, then?
That depends on your assignment. A tactician who doesn't fear for his troops won't be an effective tactician. On the other hand, a guard who's afraid of killing is not an efficient guard. The middle way seems to be the best choice.
Middle way? What do you mean?
Being completely emotionless did not bring us any closer to our goal. But too many emotions won't help us either. We're looking for an ideal compromise. And when it comes to making these calculations, this research facility is particularly good. Now, if you have no more questions, I have something else to show you. Follow me.
You were talking about an experiment. What should I expect?
We're trying to breed children who...
Hang on. You're doing what?
We're creating a new generation of rationally thinking tacticians. Let's go into the classroom and have a quick listen. Maybe we can learn something.
The lesson from last time should still be within easy recall. We will practice it again today. Sit down. Good. Now, remember yesterday's practice. Concentrate.
Teacher?
No questions, Makar. Do not make me repeat myself. Feel the emotion welling up inside you. Remember last week's punishment. Feel the fury it caused rise inside you. If it threatens to overwhelm you, try focusing on the equations we learned yesterday. Were you able to call up the anger? If so, I want you to give me the solution to the problem. If not, we'll repeat last week's punishment. Inefficiency will not be tolerated. Practice at home, then complete a 3-page report on your emotional stability indices. Makar, I especially want to see yours. I'm concerned about your progress. Improve.
Yes, ma'am.
Session complete. You can go.
As you can see, the kids here are thriving. The Elex experiments seem to be going well.
You're giving kids Elex?
No, we're experimenting with not giving the kids any Elex, teaching them to think logically and precisely without it. Most Albs never learned to handle emotion. Without Elex, many of us are completely at the mercy of our feelings. That's what we're trying to prevent from happening with these children. They're taught how to deal with emotions without neglecting their efficient thinking.
Without Elex, they're nothing more than normal people, aren't they?
No. As soon as they're of age, they'll be given their daily Elex rations like everyone else. According to our calculations, with access to Elex, emotionally strengthened Albs should be able to reach the next stage of evolution.
That sounds barbaric. You shouldn't be experimenting on kids.
The results will be worth it. Besides, we have proof that it can work.
Such as?
You. You were an Alb and managed to keep your emotions under control. We suspect that's the only reason you were able to stand up to the hybrid. We're studying this phenomenon and trying to recreate it so we can perfect it. But if you want to know more, you should talk to our scientists. Let's keep going. We are about to enter the collector's sector. They're responsible for finding Elex and bringing it to the silos. It's not particularly demanding.
Oh yeah.
The collectors who live here don't need to be especially efficient. So they only get low doses of Elex, which makes them prone to uncontrolled emotional outbursts. If it were up to me, we wouldn't let them stay in the depot. We'd ship them out somewhere. Let's keep going. I don't like being around these people. Follow me. You might have noticed that back here, it's much more disorganized. Not like the rest of the depot. The collectors and their lifestyle is a source of friction. If you're not careful, you might even end up getting robbed. It wouldn't have happened in the hybrid's day. Luckily, we're now out of the collector's sector again. Right here, we're entering the soldiers' area. Things are a lot more orderly here. These guys make difficult decisions, so they get correspondingly larger rations of Elex. And you can stock up on decent weapons here, too.
You allow trading in the depot?
We do now. Trade has helped us to create a kind of reward system for effective action. We pay our workers with Elexit. They use it to buy things that help them work more efficiently. It seems to motivate them. But you can take a look at all that later. Right now, I'm going to take you to Azok. Come on. That's the agent's precinct up there. Their job is to keep an eye on the collectors and everyone else. They make sure everyone takes their Elex ration and that nobody takes more or less. They keep an eye on things and keep everybody in line.
Come on, what is this shit?
I hope this has helped you get an idea of how the depot works, and that your return to our ranks won't be too tricky.
We'll see.
Once an alb, always an alb. This is where you belong. I'll leave it up to you. May efficiency guide your actions.
I hope you're not trying to convince me you like it here.
Is something bothering you?
No, other than freezing my ass off, I love it here.
Keeping moving helps.
So does shutting your fucking mouth. You dare just show up? We won't tolerate filthy traitors here.
Traitor? The fuck are you talking about?
You know full well. You brought down the hybrid. You destroyed the converters. You killed our people. If permitted, I would execute you where you stand.
There was no future with the hybrid. Not for anyone. I did what needed to be done.
You think you had the right to decide that?
If you want to execute me, do it already. But what would be the point? You're all doing just fine as far as I can tell.
I mean, did you guys have a little something going? Because this bitch is really freaking out. If you value your life, be silent. Oh yeah, so scared. You better listen up. Your judgment is as substandard as your character. Our supply of Elex is pitiful. We've lost half our territory. The fight against the new invaders is tying up valuable resources.
And you think that's my fault?
I know it is. Just so you know, I've been tasked to protect us all from harm. And you're making it difficult to tolerate your presence.
I've never seen you this mad, Irissa.
That's not what we're talking about. But why do you think that is?
If you've got such a problem with me, why are we even talking? Tell your agents to pull the trigger.
And go against Azok? I don't think so. In any event, a quick death is too good for you.
You expect me to just disappear?
I'm giving you a choice. Sneak off like you did before, or find a way to fix the harm you caused. If it's the former, stop wasting my time and leave.
Where's my help needed?
Go to the crater. Find out if someone named Skibor is alive or dead.
What's the point of that?
I asked for help, not questions. You'll have to earn answers, let alone trust. Now do what I told you. Find Skibor. If he's alive when you get there, keep him that way.